What's up, squids? We're back with another pointless video. Except for this time, we kinda have a point. This video is an introduction on how to ride motorcycles. If you've never done it, you're looking into getting a bike, you're a complete beginner. Oh, I got up really early to do this video for y'all on my day off. But you know what they say, I'm out here being the early bird. Where's my freaking worms at? Alright, so we're going to start with 3 steps that come before getting on the bike. Step 1, I think you should always research and learn like the fundamentals of riding even though you're just watching. Trust me, I did this and it is super important because I kind of had an idea of what I was doing before I started doing it. I was getting those like brain reps in or something. Number 2 is invest in some gear. I know I don't have any gear on, but I always wear my gloves, my helmet, over the ankle shoes, jeans. I do want to get gear though, I'm just, you know, broke. Step 3, one of the most important ones. You have to buy a bike. Alright, first and foremost, when you get a bike, if you're getting it new, you don't have to worry about it much, but if it's used, look over it. Make sure everything's good. Check your tires, make sure they still have life on them. Like, what the heck? Check your chain, make sure it doesn't have too much grime or it ain't rusted or just an old crappy chain. You're going to want to check and make sure it's tightened correctly as well. And now this right here is big if you get a used bike. Always straighten it up, make it level, and check your oil if you have a sight glass. Some of the real new bikes might just have a meter, but you just need to make sure your oil's good. That is big for your engine, guys. Just like Thomas the Train, we gotta have that engine. And it doesn't ever hurt to check and make sure your brake fluid is good. You have your brake fluid for your front brake up here usually, and your back brake will be here. I know this one's a little harder to see, but mine's right at the top line. Now we're gonna set on the bike. Alright, throw this up, get in a good comfortable position, make sure you feel sturdy. My goodness, look at all this dust just from setting for 2 days. Alright, now the next step is I'm going to show you a few of the controls on the bike. Most bikes are pretty similar, but if not, you'll kind of figure it out because they're not that different if they are. So on your bike, you'll have a few different controls. These are going to be your main ones. But guys, this isn't like a car. You don't just turn the key and it cuts on. So on a bike, what you're going to do is just turn the key to the on position. Let your electronics load up and do everything they do. Then you're usually going to have a little red button. That is your kill switch. You're going to swipe it down. So I've already warmed my bike up so I don't have to, but usually you'll hear the fuel pumping gauge. I never start my bike until after that is fully done. It'll stop making the noise that it does. So on some bikes you'll have a button down here to press to cut it on after this, but on mine it's a little bit newer. It's a 2019 and a lot of them are like this now. You'll just take this and slide it down. Now your bike is on. For the rest of the controls it's pretty simple. So for mine you'll have your hazards over here. You'll cut those on, you can cut them off by swiping back. You have a passing light. You have your regular beams and your high beams. I know people in my videos probably have wondered why my high beams are always on, and it's because I want to be seen on the road. Your horn is obviously the button with your horn. And down here is your blinkers. You hit it left to cut your left blinker on. You push it in to stop it. Right to cut your right blinker on. Also push it in to stop it. Now we're about to get into the things that make this bike operate. On your right hand side, you're going to have your throttle. This is what makes you move and go zoom zoom, so be careful with the throttle, be controlled. With the throttle side, you're going to have your front brake. Left side, you're going to have your clutch. This is where you're going to shift gears. And with that being said, also on the left side where your foot is, that's your gear shifter. Most bikes, unless it's been modified, it's going to be down is first gear, half a click up is neutral, up is second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. The right hand side, it's going to be your back brake. So when I got this here, I just press on that, that engages my back brake. But now let's get into some riding. So to begin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this clutch in. I'm going to take my left foot, I'm going to press down. It'll tell you right here that you're in first gear. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let off this clutch, and at first I'm not even gonna give it throttle, just so y'all can see that while you're letting off, once you hit the friction zone, it'll start to pull on its own. See, it's starting to go. I'm not giving any throttle. If I were just to let go, it's gonna stall. And this is what it's gonna look like. Don't panic if this happens. it's gonna just do that and your bike's gonna cut off. Just pull your clutch in, restart your bike. Everything's fine if that happens. People panic and that's how people get hurt. So what you're ideally gonna wanna do is get to that friction zone that's starting to pull and give it a little bit of throttle. And then you just slowly release the clutch, and now we're on the road, boys and ladies. Now, as far as your electronics, some have this, some don't, but they all have a meter that's going to show your RPMs. With that being said, I like to shift around 10 or 11 on this bike. Unless I'm just trying to save gas, I'll shift early. And because of where I'm at in this video, I'm also going to shift early. Some bikes have a shift indicator, as this one does. There's a white light, it'll glow, and that means, okay, let's shift. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn around. And when you're in first, pull your clutch in when you're doing slow maneuvers, because you can play with that friction zone to kind of control your speed. Play with your friction zone and throttle and use the back brake. I will go ahead and say this, don't grab that front brake when you're doing slow maneuver stuff, because that is the quickest way. If I'm turning and I grab this, that bike's going to want to just fall to the ground. So now I'm going to show you how to upshift. Like we did earlier, I'm going to release the clutch, I'm going to give it a little throttle, and now we're rolling. Okay, my RPMs get up, I'm going to let go off the throttle, clutch in, up one on the gear, and then I'm going to give it throttle again. Okay, so I'm going to downshift. I'm going to downshift to show you again. Okay, so we're moving out of first. Okay, I let off the throttle, I pull the clutch in, and I go up on the gear shifter. So I let off the throttle, pull the clutch in, and up with my foot one time. And same thing going down. Now I'm in second gear, I need to slow my pace down. I'm at 10 miles an hour. I shouldn't be in second. Let off the throttle, I'll pull the clutch in and go down with my left foot. Off, clutch in, down, release it slow. Just like that, guys. It's really not as hard as people make it seem. I don't know why, but people make it seem like it's the hardest thing on planet Earth. The main thing about riding a bike is paying attention, making smart decisions, and riding safe. So now that we figured out how to go and continue to go, because upshifting is the same always. So if I'm going into second, off the throttle, clutch in, up, back on the throttle. Same thing with third. I would go off the throttle, clutch in, up, and then back on the throttle. But now we'll show stopping. Gradually get on my front brake, and then I'm going to pull the clutch in, gradually get on that back brake as well as the front, and then you come to your stop. And if I want to go into neutral, I just half a click up with my left foot, then I can let off the clutch, because then the bike isn't engaged. We'll go over everything one more time. So we're in neutral, we're going to start from here, clutch in, down one with my foot. Okay, then I'm going to get in that friction zone, I'm going to let it pull, I'm going to give it a little bit of throttle, I'm going to let off. And on your first day, you should find you a parking lot or something and just work with this. Work turns, they can be a little wider, you don't have to get like fancy at first. Just do this right here, just make little quick easy turns in first gear and practice going in first and then coming to a stop. I'm on that clutch, I'm on my brakes, not hard on my brakes. Everything is gradual on a bike. You don't ever want to just grab a handful of front or back brake. That's how you lock your tires up. Now I'll go ahead and hit this straight stretch. We'll go into second. Now I'm in second gear. I let off the throttle, pulled the clutch in, up with my foot. But now I'm going to have to go back down to first. So I'm on the brakes, pull the clutch in, down to first. And since I'm already at a stop, I'll just keep that clutch in. And then we're going to be pulling out here. We're going to let Grandma go so she don't squish me. I'm going to be here for a minute, so I'll go ahead and put it in neutral since there's nobody around me. What the heck has happened here? How did I miss this? Alright, now we're down to first. We're gradually going to pull out. Make sure nobody's coming. And here we go. We're on the road, guys. honestly, y'all, this is pretty much it. I know this was a little bit different of a video, but I hope you all enjoyed it. I just want to give my audience like a little bit of educational stuff here and there. The funny videos are still many to come because that's my favorite videos. I enjoy editing them. They're awesome. But all in all, guys, my biggest recommendation is watch these kind of videos before you even get a bike, and once you get a bike, you'll have that general understanding of how to operate it. Yeah, I'll have some more funny vids up real soon, like in a couple days, but peace out. Love y'all. Ride safe.